What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is the Lenny Reed Pod, and I'm your host, Lenny Reed. Hope y'all having a wonderful day. Getting situated here. Um, I'm checking everything out. Three Eye Atlas. Keeping an eye on that. You already know what that is. That is the what you call it comet that's coming this way. So keep an eye on that. Um, this is episode 341, and this is the podcast. It's the Lenny Reed Pod. I'm your host, Lenny Reed, and we grind, we glow, and we grow. Okay, that's basically what it is. That's what it is. Um, Today title is the broke ghost. Now, if you know, you know the broke ghost. I'm gonna get into all of that. Before I get into that, today's sponsor is it's an ebook. Why you need a podcast ebook. Um, and the reason that is the sponsor is because I know how having a podcast helped me out mentally, physically, and financially. All right. So if you ever thought about getting a podcast or what is the basics of a podcast, I actually have a video that's inside of the ebook that shows you how to put the podcast together in your living room, in any space. It can be anywhere. You don't need a full studio. Man, you can shoot a podcast in your car if you wanted to. So check that out. Um, Travel the world. You can do it everywhere. It's a good remote job if you get it going. That way you can disconnect from the matrix. You can be anywhere around the world and you can add content. Okay. Content is king now. I'm sorry. Content is king. Everybody is scrolling on their phone, whether they at work, they on a bus, they on a trip. Content is king, and everybody know that. Podcast will be the top way to get eyes or ears on a situation, and companies know that, and they are willing to pay. Okay, so check that ebook out. It's in the description. All right, it's a 50-minute video that's breaking down, a 50-minute guide that's breaking down everything in it. So check that out. It's dope. I put it together. That is why you need a podcast. All right. Also, check out the quick links down in the description. And quick links are basically links of, things that I think, well, they actually paying the bill. So if you ever wanted something in the quick links, just hit me up at the website. It's all in the notes, and leave me a message, and then I will send you a package on how you can get your link in quick links. All right. Okay. Now, this topic here is a tough one because it is hard being broke. And I'm going to break down a broke ghost, but it's hard being broke. Okay. And I'm going to just share with y'all a couple things, the circle that being broke affects. Just say you were sick and a procedure, whether it's the dentist or, heart failure or something like that, that was serious and you needed money and you don't have money. I know there's ways to get money. You can probably finance it through different companies if your health is involved. So I'm guessing that's a part of it, right? But just say, without the basics of just regular money, you can't get the basics of care, right? You can't get the best food. You get the bullshit, McDonald's, yada, yada, yada. You get the bullshit of everything if you don't have money. And this show is basically talking about how when you're broke, you're basically a ghost. You're a ghost to society. You're a ghost to your family. Shit, you're a ghost to yourself, right? You're a ghost to yourself. And that is the hardest part to deal with. And being broke make people do crazy shit. It make women do crazy shit. It makes men do crazy shit. Because, and I think with the advent of the internet, social media, Instagram, when you are able to see the riches of other people, even if they faking it, it still look rich. even if somebody rented a Lamborghini to do a video, right? They still rented that motherfucker. And how much that cost? And you looking at your numbers and like, damn, I can't even rent a Lamborghini. I can't even rent, you know, a penthouse in the sky to, post my course or sell my T-shirts or something like that. I can't even get a house built from the ground to show the process of the house being built because I'm broke, right? And I know that's what people thinking. So I'm gonna break down this concept of just basic shit that you are looked at as being invisible when you're broke, and everybody been there. Well, damn everybody, not everybody. Some people are born rich, but what is broke? Um, Everybody have their. I look at it like the gas gauge in your car. Some people wait to a half a tank to fuel up. Some people wait till that last quarter is left, right, to fill up. Some people wait till the goddamn gas light is on and the car's telling them, yo, fill up. So you got the different kind of people. And I think a lot of people classify themselves as broke with that same gear set. So some people will have a certain amount of money that cuts off and they're broke. Hey, can I borrow? Man, I don't have shit. I mean, they just down to their half and they consider themselves broke. You got some people that's down to that last fucking couple dollars and they consider themselves broke, right? And then you got the real broke. I mean, they don't have two pennies to move together. Broke. That's the dangerous broke. That's the hungry broke. Um, the hungry broke is where you cannot get gas, right? Some people, well, the good thing is probably if you got to wait till you get paid the next week. So you got to go a whole week without gas, food, or whatever until you get paid. And the crazy part is that money is already spoken for that's coming in, right? So it's just fucked up. It's just real messed up. So another thing would be, you know, you got a couple dollars, your tank looking crazy, you can go put some gas in it. You probably won't fill it up, but you can put some gas in it, right? And then you have the ones that I would say the half a tank broke. I mean, you can fill it up, you can get food, but you want that buffer. They got a buffer of money that they won't let it get lower than. And I always consider myself that buffer of money. When I get to that level, I'm broke. That buffer could be whatever number, I say, but if I said it out loud to somebody, they'll be like, mother, you ain't broke, bruh. But in my head, if you never go under half, you will always be all right. You need a buffer zone when you broke. Okay. So in most cases, you're alive, but no one sees you. I mean, everything, like, what's the price? Like, you want to know the price of it because the reason you asking the price because you have a set amount of money that you know of. You probably already checked. Like certain people, they'll be out with their friends or family, and everybody go to an establishment to eat or something, and you're basically picking food that's in your budget because you just checked your account, or you just checked how much money you got on you. So if you have $100 in your account into next week to get paid, you know that you're about to probably get an $18 meal plus tip. You're looking at $25, right? So you're going to stay within that. You're going to stay within that zone. Or if you got like $40 in your pocket, you're going to stay within that. The reason that you brought $40, you knew that you would spend up to $40, right? You won't bring $40 and that's your last 40. You probably either leave 20 home or don't touch 20 or don't go, right? So that's the thing. And the mental aspect of it, and I'm gonna go through a few things that I got jotted down in my notes right here, but the mental thing of it is I think it's worse because at some point you consider yourself a failure by being broke. And in a way, I will say, and it's probably a little bit harsh. At a certain age, if you're not handicapped, and you mobile, you can get around. If you are broke at a certain age, it is your fault. And it gets no simpler than that. Now, let's classify broke. In my realm, if you hold down a car payment, you hold down a mortgage or rent, and you're working, you're not broke. You just got to figure out how to spend your money right. Your money is going out. So you got a bucket with water coming in it, a nice little flow of water, but also you got a nice flow leak at the bottom of that bucket. So you got to like patch the hole up, slow the water down from leaving out. And but there's another thing called living above your means, which will make you also broke. You can be employed broke, and that's the worst because you still have to get gas, you still have to buy lunch, you still got to go out there and make money. But when that check come out, it's either already negative or it's coming into a negative account, or it's like right, that check is spoken for. Now some people know how to keep it to the point where the check is spoken for and it never goes negative. Some people, shit come out and the account is negative. So as soon as your check come in, 30% of it get eaten up already. So that's the bottom line. So let's visit a couple things. All right. So you got care concept, right? So being broke isn't just about a lack of money. It's about being invisible, being unheard, being overlooked. So that's more of a society thing. Definitely if people think you broke. And a lot of, you know, broke visuals is your clothing, what you wearing, how your hair is, what you driving. You can tell a lot of people about what they driving, unfortunately, but not really, because anybody with the right setup and a basic job can pay a car note. Now, are you willing to pay a high? Are you willing to pay a rent or mortgage payment for a car note? It depends on how you lay it down, how you trying to do it. But in modern society, your value is often tied to your net worth. Okay. So your net worth. When you see somebody on everything they got, and that's basically whatever you got and the price of everything you got. So if you got a house, I guess it's not always liquid, which you can pull up, but it's everything you got combined and it's cash value or its value. So that is the basic care concept. So being broke, like I said, it's not the lack of money. It's also being invisible. When you're invisible, people don't ask. It's like people don't. They just know you broke, and that got to be messed up. When like people just, you can just look at a person like, damn, look at this broke ass nigga, right? That got to be messed up. But some people can dumb down the clothing and still have a nice chunk in the bank. Um, but I can imagine, because we are, like I said, we all been through the broke situation. Now you have people that say they don't want no debt. They want to get rid of their debt. That's impossible unless you're living under the bridge, right? Because debt will be rent, mortgage, car, right? And so you're going to constantly always have debt. Credit cards, that's debt. And credit cards would be like the safe, if you somewhere and you need a quick 1,500 to get out of a jam. That's where you pull your credit card out, right? That's where you pull your credit card out, because that's just basically what it's for. And well, some people say it's for emergencies, so you want to keep it like that. So, and if let me see what my notes says. Now, it's basic ways being broke feels like being a ghost. Okay, so one, you invisible to society. And like I said, people avoid eye contact when they sense poverty. You ever be walking down the street and you see somebody that's sort of like adjusting themselves to ask you for something? What do? You ignore them. Or you just look right in, look in their eyes and say, I'm good. I don't have nothing for you, bro. Sorry. Or, ma'am, I don't have nothing for you. Sorry. Or, the worst where you got somebody standing outside of a store and you go buy something, you at the cash register, they give you your money back and they give you your change and you folding up your dollars and your 20s and he just like this in the window. He looking at you in the window. He see your money. So now you like adjusting your money, adjusting yourself to come back out and enter the realm of the begging, you know, the begging. Now, we all can be in that situation. We all can be the person laying on the ground or the person digging through the trash while you walking past. Because a lot of that is probably finances, but a lot of that is also mental. These people had mental breaks where they couldn't hold a job. And if you can't hold a job, no source of income, you can't hold, any kind of residence. You can't hold car insurance. Even if you got a car, you got to pay car insurance. You know, even if you own a house, your house is paid for, you got to pay taxes. So in a certain way, this place is sort of made where you have to input yourself into society as a worker. In retirement, you never retire. It seems like the government gives you the money of retirement, Social Security and all of that, right? But you still have to input into the system. So Social Security flows through your hands or flows through your account, and it still goes out to taxes. It still goes out to your car insurance. It still goes out to different government agencies. I mean, it's a perfect, well-oiled machine that we got caught into. You know what I'm saying? So people will avoid eye contact when they sense poverty. That's raw, man. Like, what if you just got a bummy day? You just got a bummy day. You threw some sweats on, you threw a little shirt on, you want to run to the store. You a single guy and you see this beautiful thing, and she just, as soon as she see you, she just like avoid eye contact, like looking the other way, clutching her purse, and you're like, damn, I got money. I'm straight. So that's why they always say it's good to come out the house looking good and smelling good, even on your worst day. Even on your worst day. Another thing, job applications, dating applications, and social circles also ignore those no money, no status. So again, jobs like you to come from another job, right? They like to have that you are either currently working when you're applying or recently got out of a job. They don't want you when you've been a year out of working or 2 years, because it can sense that, nigga, I'm broke. I'm going to steal the pins up in here. Anything that's not tied down in this job, I'm going to steal it because I need money. I'm guessing that's what the job was. I don't know. Dating apps. Dating apps, you got to put your best picture up. You can't put you got to put like that best suit, that best shirt, the best fresh cut you can do. Don't look broke, because the women is going to look right over you. They're going to swipe. They're going to X you out. You know, even social circles. When you go in a place, you want to look good, smell good. If people sense you are broke, you know, even people you going out with, not even the girls that you going to meet, even the people that you traveling with. If you over there asking how much, yeah, we gonna stop by this little bar. They got drinks and stuff. We're gonna get a table. And they like, nah, it's only gonna be about 80 a piece. And you sit there like, damn, $80. How much is that again? $80. Why we gotta go somewhere and sit? Well, we gotta pay to go sit $80, man. It ain't worth $80. See, you on that broke shit already. And people can see that, and then they won't mess with you when it's time to go out. Unfortunately, That's probably a good thing if you're trying to get your money right. Focus, put your head down. And then you have the girl that, she probably want a couple drinks out of you before she get, crazy and raw, right? She want a couple drinks. And you just like, damn, I just drank like $7. Damn, I only got about 50 on me. Shit. Now she want another drink. You're like, God damn. She wants something to eat too? Or you going out on the date and she want a steak. Or you like, yo, where you want to eat at? Ruth Chris. You like, oh, damn. Really? Yeah. Yeah, my ex worked there, yo. I don't even want to deal with that. What about Fridays? Red Lobster. Red Lobster, I think they got a new menu going on. That's a cool spot. I mean, you already know what the food is, right? You know what the Red Lobster food is, right? That's that broke shit, yo. And nobody want to be classified as broke, right? I would tell you, there's some people that know they don't have a penny to their name, or they got a small amount of money to their name, but they just move like they got money. They talk like they got money. They got swag like they got money. So if you can learn, just say if you're watching this and you are in between jobs or you are in between checks, right? You are considered yourself broke or other people consider yourself broke. Just learn how to move. Just learn the swag of moving and you just seem like you got money. It just smell like you got money. You don't got it. You don't got no more than the next man. But you just radiate like you got money. You know? It's like you be screaming for help. He's just walking around looking broke as shit, like screaming for help. Help, help. And you're like a ghost. Because everybody don't see you. Everybody don't see you. They just look right away, like look right through you. You a ghost. You a broke ghost. It's like you drifting through life. Now, the way life is set up, people will probably focus on women. You're on a dating app and you have no money. Why? You scrolling, looking at Benzes and, Lexus coupes and all of that, and you have no money. Why? You looking on Booking, trying to book a vacation, and you have no money. Why? Now, the main thing is if you put all your energy, like a force field beam, all your energy on making money, how to make money, executing, getting it together, all of that shit will fall into place, right? When the money start coming in, now you're going to upgrade. I think the first thing you probably do is upgrade your vehicle. Even if you went from a Civic to like an Acura or a Dodge or just something else, like a Tesla, right? You get something nice. Or if you're going to go, if you came into a lot of money, you're going to get something real nice. And that will attract the women. Okay. And if you still focus, you'll probably be invited to a lot of different places, a lot of different parties, another echelon of people, a higher echelon of people, another group of people, right? And then that's when the trips come. And the bank account looks good. You got a nice new group of friends that's on your same money time. You're traveling, you're eating good. But if you just broke and you're not focusing on the money, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong. You hustling backwards, as they say. So just focus on the money. I just had to throw that in, even though I'm going through, a couple of things, bullet points that I got. Drifting through life, you go through, the emotions, right? Like I said, like depressed. You're depressed. You can't go. I remember when I came to, I don't know how many times I said that. When I came to Georgia, I didn't have a lot. And my cousin, rest in peace, called me and said, "Hey, cuz, hey, we got this thing going on at the Lake Lanier." I was like, "Word, what's up?" He said, "Yeah, we gonna get some kind. I forgot what he said, like some kind of place where you, I forgot, cabin or something like that, or." So I'm like, "Cool. So what's the details on it?" He said, "Yeah, it's gonna be about 2,500 for your family, and just let me know." And I said, "All right, cool. I'll let you know." When he said 2,500, I know I ain't had that. So did I tell him? No. I just said, "All right, I'll let you know, cuz. I'll let you know." See, that's the broke shit right there. But that made me focus on the money. That made me focus purely on getting my money up. Because just say I would have scraped up 2,500, my last 2,500, and went, then I would have been invited to somewhere else. And now, it'd have been a waste. So my main focus was fall back, get my money right. That should be the main focus. And then once your money right, now you could go anywhere. That's the foundation. Building your wealth is the foundation. Okay, back to this. Um, you're physically present, but emotionally and economically disconnected from the world because, like I said, you're looking at women, you're looking at cars, you connected, but economically you're fizzled out. You can't do nothing. You know, don't let three bills come. At the same time. You're done. Unseen labor and hustle. You work long hours, side gigs, odd jobs, but no one notice because you're not living loud. Like the broke grind is often invisible and unappreciated and unpaid. Social death, friends stop calling, family distance themselves because you always ask them for fucking money. Can you imagine that? You got a family member that always asks for money and they always gonna pay you back. And then they call you. What you gonna do? You gonna answer it? No. You gonna let that shit ring. You ain't gonna end the call because now they can tell that you that you seen it. You just let the call rock until it end. That way you was busy or some shit like that. Here go another one. This is me right here. You're not invited to events because you can't afford it. You vanish from the people's lives. That was me. I mean, actually, I uninvited myself because I couldn't afford it, not that way around. Living in the shadows. You rent rooms, crash on couches, and avoid showing your true situation. I'm just breaking down with the ghost. This is just the shit that people do when they broke. You just like a ghost. Hunt places without a home. The broke often drift without a stable base. That's wow. You're stuck between worlds. Damn, this shit is breaking it down. You're alive, but nobody fully appreciating you in society. You considered a piece of shit. And I hope after this, people, well, I know people always, that's people that's broke, right? They know what I'm talking about. But people that's like on that line, like on that broke line, like you working broke, if you listen to any of this content that I throw out at you, you got to get your money right. We all got talents. We all can do a lot of shit. You got to get your money right. A broke person get attention when they break rules, lash out, or protest. Similar to how ghosts make noise when they're angry. Ooh, I'm broke. I don't have no money. You hear that shit? So the moral of this is not to make funny, not to make fun of anybody or bring light to the situation. If you live in America, it's all capital. It's all about money. Everything is about money. Everything. That nasty ass cereal that got mopping glow in it. They know, but it's money. It's ways to make money. And like I said before, it's the best way to make money is digitally. Ebook, courses, podcasts, content, Instagram, TikTok. Build your business off of that. That way you can go anywhere in the world and make money. Because you can have a nice brick and mortar selling pizza or selling clothing, but you are stuck in that establishment. You know, you still got to get up. You still got to go to work. Just imagine you working on your laptop like this. All right. Let's put you in let's before I end this. Let's put you in a frame of a podcast. This is your life, right? It's Monday. When a lot of people Monday morning, a lot of people is like slobbing to work like a snail, right? Traffic, stale coffee. You ain't sleep for worth shit last night. Just imagine you get up when you want to, go in the kitchen, get some coffee. You had a nice weekend. I mean, your weekend, you didn't have to worry about getting up and you don't have to worry about anything work related. No punching the clock, nothing. You get up. So you got all the memories of the weekend still fresh. You go to your computer. You log in. You got your notes. You say, hey, what's up, everybody? You go live. That's how your podcast start. You got a live podcast on Mondays. You got another show on Fridays, right? So you sitting up there having a good time. You got a couple guests up there coming on. You probably get off in about 2 hours. And you're done. 2 hours, you're done. That podcast is generating ads, Patreon, all kind of shit. You're done. You live the weekend to talk about it on Monday. You got one more Friday show. Take an hour to do that. So that way, you're making money. Only schedule you got is to shoot the pod sometime on Monday. You can either go live or shoot on Monday, edit it, and then put it out on Tuesday or Wednesday. Knock out another little pod on Friday. Shit, you don't even have to do one on Friday. You can just do that one. You're pulling in 10,000, 20,000. You're doing numbers. That's it. You got a nice little car outside. Probably got a nice house if you want. Nice apartment. Nice sick car. Money in the bank. You want to go to Greece for 2 weeks. No problem. You shoot the podcast when you increase. Nice backdrop too. It's a win-win. All of y'all yappers anyway. You call people and yap all fucking day. Why not just yap to the world? They might appreciate it more than that person you talk to. So that's basically it. You don't want to be the broke ghost. Okay? This is 2025. Shit is getting high. Interest rates is getting high. Insurance getting high. You got to get ahead of this shit. Because what you don't want to do is be sitting out there looking through trash cans for a half-eaten hamburger with French fries. Or backwash Coca-Cola. That's your meal for the day. So that should scare the shit out of you. I hope this podcast scared the shit out of you. Because when you become broke, or if you broke, you are a ghost. Nobody care. Nobody accepts your call. Even when you call somebody, they probably not listening because they just waiting for you to ask for money. Or waiting for the sad sorrow. So, like I always say, if you heard this podcast before, get your money right. All right, it's going to be hard at the beginning. All right, but in due time. Again, this podcast was sponsored by Why You Need a Podcast. All right, y'all have a wonderful day. Let's play some music. Let's get out of here. Take it easy, everybody. Peace up. Bam.